All right, so let's go ahead and start right back with the same area of our drawing that we left off with on Thursday. So we did our couch, right? We started with this rectangular box. You can still kind of see it if you look carefully. Kind of lines up back here with the back edge of the couch. We added in these cushions and kind of add the crease of the cushion. We added some lines, we erased some lines, right? We're definitely using our eraser pretty heavily in the construction of this room, and we're going to continue to do so, just so we make sure that everything is kind of accurately drawn as we move forward. So, like I said, we are going to try to add, or at least draw, kind of these two side-by-side armrests that you see right here. And we're going to try to add those into the drawing that we have. Now that we're getting to the end of the drawing, we can kind of identify areas that maybe work a little bit better than others, or a little bit more true to form than are in the actual drawing. But as long as we keep to the rules of perspective, nothing's going to turn out too terribly. So let's go ahead and try to figure out where this couch is going to end. So we have a very small orthogonal line that's right here. We actually need that to figure out where the other armrest is going to go, and we also need one that's kind of back here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's where the armrest meets the wall on both sides. So we're going to make two orthogonal lines using those 2 points. So we're going to line up with the vanishing point and the edge, the very edge of the armrest, and we're going to redraw lightly that orthogonal line. We're just going to start at the armrest. We don't need to go all the way back to the vanishing point. So we're just going to make a light line right there. It's very close to where our cushion is, but we can see the difference between them, so that's okay. Then the next one is going to be between these two. So we got the vanishing point, and then where I can see from my erase lines where the back armrest meets the back wall. And again, you might still have some of these lines, especially if you haven't erased them. But we're going to need both of them to figure out where the second armrest goes. So now we have to kind of figure out how long this couch is going to be. Hopefully, so in an ideal world, we could use the table to kind of figure out where that would be, or maybe the edge of the entertainment center, right? It looks like if you drew a horizontal line across from the bottom of the entertainment center across, you kind of run into that coffee table, and then it would be in the neighborhood of where this armrest would be. Sorry about the cat. But as we can see in our drawing, our table is way closer to us than it is in the actual photograph, and we'll just work around that to the best of our ability. So I'm going to make it even with kind of the bottom of our entertainment center, and you can make that work however you want to, but you're going to want a little bit of space there at the end of between the bottom of the paper and the edge of the couch. So I just made a little bit mark there that's even with our entertainment center. I'm going to make a vertical line, and then I'm going to make a horizontal line that comes directly across, and we'll kind of see where that ends up for us. So just being very careful, trying to make as straight of a line as we can, straight up and down. And we are going from the bottom of the couch to the orthogonal line that we just drew, and stopping. And then we're going to come straight across, and it might go off the page, it might not, depending on how you drew your first part. But again, if we just follow all the rules of perspective, it doesn't matter. We just want to make sure that we're doing this all as accurately and straight as we can. So again, orthogonal line coming straight across, and that line, for me at least, is going to go directly off the page, and that's okay. That's just the way it's going to be, and I don't mind it. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. So we just drew, if you look on the computer, we just drew this back line as well as the vertical line that comes across. Usually it almost goes off the page on ours, but now we have to draw the second one. And actually, we might as well, while we're there, draw the third one. So we're actually going to do 3 sets of lines real quick, and then get the eraser in there and do some erasing. So we got vertical. We're going to make another one about there, maybe a little bit more. All the way up to that orthogonal line. And then we're going to come directly across, trying to make it as horizontal as possible. Alright, and then we're going to do one more. Maybe a little bit further away than the other one we just drew. Trying to make sure your line's as vertical as possible. Straight up from the bottom of the couch to that orthogonal line we just redrew. And this is now going to represent the other kind of seat. You'll see. This is kind of, we're taking a little bit of a shortcut here, but try to stay with me because it is going to save us a bunch of time. Okay. All right, now it's time to do some erasing. We got to figure out what to erase and what not to erase, which is a little bit tricky, but try to follow along. So we can see on this armrest, right, there is no cushion line, so we can go ahead and erase these two. We can do it for both of them. All right, and just redraw anything carefully that you have erased. And then we see we have a little bit of a cushion right here, so we're going to try to add that in as well. Cushion action. Right. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. We got a cushion. It's just this small little detail we put in over here. Now we have to do some erasing on the top, and that is going to be everything except our orthogonal line that we need. So I'm going to erase the crease in the couch. We don't need that. We do need the very edge of the couch, but we don't need what's inside. So we're going to erase all that. Okay. All right, now it's a little bit more angular than it is in the actual photograph, but that's okay. At least we're following the rules. We're also not going to need this line that we just drew. We don't need this guy either. It's just confusing. We're going to erase that. So now, I guess we don't need this either. Sorry. All right. So now we have the cushion that you sit on. We have our back of the cushion. We also have our back armrest, and we have our front armrest. And then we have the back armrest of our couch, our chair as well, which we're going to turn into a cushioning couch right now. So even if it doesn't make sense yet, if it doesn't quite look right, try to stay with me. Let's try to finish this up right here. So we have the bottom of our couch, the bottom of our chair, which is also the bottom of our couch, right? It's the same line. Then we have the bottom of our cushion and the top of our cushion. We're going to take a line straight horizontally at the top of the cushion. So at this top orthogonal line, not here, but here, all the way at the top. Top, I guess, is relative. We're going to make a horizontal line right here. It's going to show us where our line goes, and we don't. Yeah, we don't need this anymore either, I don't think. All right, and then we have this last intersection, and we're just going to copy. It's a very small line. I wish we had a little bit more room for detail. We're going to copy this diagonal line that we have over here. We're going to copy it right back here just to mimic that kind of couch feel. Once we have that, we can erase our guiding line, our orthogonal line that's right here. So we have kind of a boxy couch. Right, and then all we have to do is soften up this little cushion because no one likes to sit on a super hard cushion, right? So we're going to kind of add in a cushion section, erase that vertical line. All right, and actually we're going to go ahead and erase this line as well. So now we can even bend this a little bit. Right, the same way we did in the back. Erase that. Now we have kind of a chair and a couch. They look almost the same size. That's okay. It works. In the photograph, right, we have a back of one final armrest. I'm not going to draw it. I don't think we need it. It would be like somewhere over here off the edge of the paper. And we just ran out of room, right? So in a perfect world, we would have that. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get to that. I'm not too upset about it. But just take a look at kind of what you've created, right? So you have through a bunch of different kind of guiding lines and erasing and redrawing and erasing again, we've come up with two similar couches, or a couch and a chair, that are side by side. We kind of use these continuous orthogonal lines in order to create the illusion of these two couches, and with a little bit more erasing, I think this is going to look really good. Hopefully we have similar looking drawings. Maybe bring this a little bit further up. And again, there's different ways to do this, but this is kind of the most, if not efficient, it's the most kind of, I want to say secure, but it's the way that you're sure to get it right? So it takes a long time. You kind of have to think about where you are as far as using an orthogonal line, a horizontal line, or a vertical line. But really what you're doing is trying to dissect each object in the room and try to break it down into rectangles. And once you've done that, you can kind of soften them up like we did with these cushions. But once you have those rectangles broken down, you can build them in one point perspective, and then kind of alter them kind of casually later. So for example, if you want to put in these lines in the couch, right, that you kind of see in the back, it's not a problem. You just kind of mimic the lines that you see. Right. If you want to add in those couch details, those couch cushions, it's almost like a diagonal line and then a horizontal line up here. Lighten those up. You got yourself some couch cushions, right? And you can do that in a few different spots all over your drawing. But we're going to leave this right here. Does anyone have any questions before we move on?